Okay. Go over here. Say, okay. Go on. Come over here. Perfect. That's already live. That's good. YouTube. Yeah, okay. Right there. And go live on Instagram. Okay. And then I'm pretty sure that we should be okay. I hope anyway. Goodness gracious, you guys. And 1 second, if you're here with us, how do I should say change the view? Let's see. Maybe I can do this. Hang on. Like that. This. Then that's not there. So like this. Go live on TikTok. Okay. That there. Better switch over. I hope. All right. Welcome in, everybody. I don't know if you can see anything. I don't know if we can. Let me know if you can see the splash page. Let me know if you can hear me. How do I get to the other comments? It's a question. Like this, and that. And then I go there. We've got the live going. Virtual camera. Virtual camera. Virtual camera. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Boom. That little guy. Okay. Can you see the screen now? Can we see the screen? Boom, boom, boom. Here, there. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we can see the screen. We got the thing. Can someone check the other channels? I don't know if it's outputting. How do I get YouTube to come up? Like that? Okay, that's what I want to see. All right, now I can switch from that to, let's see. All right, so we got people here, we got people there, this, that, and the other. I don't know how I'm going to do the rest of it, but we're going to go through it just like that. Okay, so let's get started, everybody. We're going to be doing a 16 by 20 inch black canvas for this guy. So we'll need our liquid clear, like always, so we can prep our black canvas, and then I'm going to hit the, let's see, I'll pop out the comments from YouTube and Facebook. How do I do that? That's the question. Top right button. Okay, that shrunk it down a little bit. Let's see. I'm sorry, guys. Just give me one second. Let's see. TikTok comments in the middle. I got that part. I got the YouTube comments are over here. What if I... How do I get the Facebook to come up now, though? That's the question. Let's see, guys. Hang on. It's everything have to be in my way. Let me go like this. 1 sec, right there. I'm gonna mute this thing right here. Can you guys hear me? All right, everybody, we're here. We're just going to get it started. I don't even care anymore, honestly. There we go. Okay. And then I got nothing ready. Nothing is here. It's fine. Who cares, right? Like, honestly, it's only a professional show. Who cares? Seriously. Okay, let me get my paper towels out. We'll get all ready to go. And then once that intro goes, then we should be able to hit right here. And then you guys should be able to see me. It's going to be fantastic, right? Make this intro so long for. There we go. Any day. Honestly, it doesn't even matter. Why am I here? Come on. Put the gloves on. There you go, Josh. Seriously. Perfect. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. It's Paint with Josh. We're back in the studio. I've got to get everything ready because I'm not. And so we're going to be working on a 16 by 20 inch black canvas today. It's going to be fantastic. It's my first time trying to run the stream alone and having slight technical issues, but that's okay. We will get it learned up and be ready to go. So you guys got to check in. Let me know where you're watching from out there in the night. I'm almost ready to just go home. Let me get my liquid clear and my gloves on our 16 by 20 inch black canvas, right? That way we can have a wet surface so we can get started. Remember, this painting is available on the Paint with Josh app and the Paint with Josh site, paintwithjosh.com, of course. And it's right on the homepage so you can get it and be ready to go, guys. Honestly, it's going to be great. So, watching from North Carolina, Kansas, Georgia, people all over the place. Welcome in, everybody. And I'll get it all figured out, and it'll be good as new. Over here, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. Now, I have no idea, honestly. I don't even want to paint. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. So, I'm going to get my canvas wet. There's no turning back now. You know what I mean? Once the paint is on the canvas, there is no turning back. So we're going to get our liquid clear onto our canvas, spread it out very evenly, very thinly across, right? We don't want it to be goofy or sticky or chunky in a certain area. We don't need that. We want it to be nice and evenly spread, just like when you're going to use butter when you're cooking something. You don't want to use too much. Too much butter, you're going to have too much. Right? Same goes for the liquid clear on our canvas. If you've got too much on there, it's going to be bad. So we'll put it on. Make sure it's nice and evenly spread, meaning that we're using a lot of force to push it around. You know what I mean? We have to use all that energy and force to slide these paints around and allow them to become very thin, just like our butter would be in our pan, right? We don't want to have too much. Now, let's come out here. I was thinking maybe we'll do a 3-color painting, right? But we won't use black. We're going to use blue and brown, our Van Dyke or raw umber, and then our titanium white. So I'm going to take a little bit of my ultramarine blue. I'll launch it out into my sky. This is from the Gamblin 1980 brand. It's very nice. I like it. Now, Meaden, of course, my favorite. My favesies. They're the old sponsor. And they send me ultramarine blue by the tubes, man, by the tubes. But I'm waiting on some more of it to arrive from them. And so I was like, you know what? I've got to find something. I had a tube of the Master's Touch ultramarine blue, and it just wasn't as blue. Like, it looked blue, but when you put it up on the canvas and spread it out very thinly, you didn't get a whole lot of color, that blue color. So I was like, you know what? Let's try the Gamblin brand. And then I can at least tell people that you can literally use one or the other. It doesn't really matter, right? Once we get our blue across maybe about 3/4 of our canvas, we can come all the way down to here if we want, honestly. Pop it into this side, over to that side, smush it all over the place, and then we can throw in our brown from the bottom to the top, right? But we have to have some of that blue fade down more than we think we need to, you know what I mean? Because you're going to have that brown that's mixing it from the bottom, coming up from the bottom. Like now we're mixing from top to bottom, now we're going to be mixing from bottom to top, right? So you need that blue in there in order to reflect our sky. Otherwise, if you just have brown down in the bottom and then you try to use white, it's just going to make it like supremely bright brown. And then that never works, right? It just doesn't look correct. So let's see. Bang, bang, boom. Oh, that's cool. I see what you're doing. Kind of. over there, over here. So once you get all that blue onto the canvas and then we go brighten it up with white, then we get to determine how bright it gets to be, right? So now we're almost about 90%, 95% all the way blue on our canvas. And then I'm gonna wash off this brush because you have to get some of that blue off of there. You know what I mean? The more blue that you have on the brush, the less brown your sand is gonna be. We have to have both, obviously, but you can't just have one or the other, or too much of one or the other. Thank you. See, excellent. So toss this down like that, go over here, throw it into the old bucket, just beat the bejeez out of it, right? Come down over here. And then once we get our brush all dabbed off on paper towel, we're going to start at the bottom with our brown, very dark brown color, right? We'll start dragging it across the brown and then allowing it to blend up, right? So with very horizontal drags, starting at the bottom, right? Dropping off all that brown, and then it's going to start mixing with the blue over and over and over again as it gets taller and taller and taller up our canvas, right? And the more blue that we allow to get shrunk back, the more land that we're going to have down here, right? So you have to have a bit of both. Sometimes you can even go back over it with the blue, put it down in there. That way we'll have this really neat shine when we come to that area, right? So let's take our little fan brush. We're going to wiggle down on our titanium white paint like that. And let's say, I don't know, where do you want it to be? You know what I mean? What if we tossed it right out here? Just right there. Bang. Little touch of white. Little poof. And then we really either got to change to a 1-inch brush or a clean 2-inch brush as we start to mush it around in a circle, right? So we're making little counterclockwise circles, but going around in a clockwise circle. You know what I mean? Spreading it out. The more I intermix the paint or push on it, the more it will spread out, right? And fade away. So I get to decide how I want it to be, how bright, how this, how that. Everything is up to us every time we do these paintings, right? So you guys check in. Let me know where you're watching from out there in the day. I'm going to take my little filbert brush, pop it into the brightest area, push it up flat like you're giving it a high five, and stay out of your guys' way as we rotate around in a circle. And if you can keep it from moving from the center, then you're going to have a really fine little circle out there. It looks so cool. Now remember, the moon is not a perfect circle. Not even on a full moon night is it a perfect circle. It's slightly oblong. So don't let it stress you out too bad, right? Definitely not. We'll come out here, grab a little touch of our white, a little bit more than we did before. Now remember, on a black canvas, the white really shows bright, so you don't need a whole lot. And in fact, if you get more pressure up there, right, you can spread that very thin amount of white paint away, and so it starts to fade out. If it is too bright in one place, that's going to be bad, you guys. Cereal. Pull it, mix it, constantly moving the brush. We're never staying in one place. Right? If I need to hit a spot again, I go back over it, or I come back over here and go back over it again. You never just want to continue to mix in one spot. It will literally disappear and be gone forever, right? Especially the stuff back here. If I don't want it, I push on it a little harder and it will disappear. All things, guys, up to us. Now, this one's going to be neat looking dudes. Again, if I wanted a little bit more brightness over here, I got to put it there. It's not going to put it there itself. You know what I mean? I get to do it, guys. Flip it down. Brush it out. You guys get to do the same thing, right? Now, let's do just a cool little way, but we're going to go in the other direction this time. You know what I mean? Let's go that way. And we're just going to keep it small. So I'm going to scrape up a very small amount of my titanium white, and we're going to start down here. Actually, yep, we're going to go like this. And go up, and then over, and then down. Bang, right? Should be very cool. I'm already liking it, okay? Now, off the back, let's see, we don't need to be too big either. A couple little bits, scraping it over here, over there, down lower, lower, lower. We don't need to have too many little things on our ocean back there, right? Same thing for our little friend. We're actually going to go this way. I like these ones. And go this way, scrape it down, come down underneath. They don't even have to be the same, right? The only thing that does have to be the same is the background area in which where we're scraping, we want to just drop off enough paint to where you can see, you know what I mean? We don't need every single place to be just as bright as every other place. The only thing we really need is to have it line up from edge to edge and then get darker as it gets away from the center. You know what I mean? Oh, that's going to be cool looking. That is cool. And remember as well, we have to keep a very small separation of darkness in between the water and the crashing wave itself. Right? Now, just as well, we could literally take it and go this way, or we can go this way. I like going to the left just because it's a little bit easier for right-handed people. And there are more right-handed people that do painting than left-handed people, right? If you were left-handed, you can still do this shape going this direction. It's just a little bit easier to go the other way. So I'm going to go just left of the center at the peak of my wave. I'm going to tap at it. Tap it right on that front line, just depositing a little bit of paint, right? The more paint that we deposit down here, the more is going to roll and crash down, right? And I said, let's not make it too big, and then I made it enormous, okay? So let's get in here with a little bit of our titanium white. I'm gonna wiggle in right in there, a little bit, right around the top area, trying not to let it get too close to the white line that's up there, especially when we have to come in and mix it. And we know that if we touch that white up there, it's gonna run like Forrest Gump. Seriously, you know what I mean? It's gonna extend downward. Let's see how far we can get this eye to come down this way. We don't need it to be extremely bright, but just to have it be a little bit different than normal, right? Now we'll take our blade, we're gonna come up here, attach on to that ribbon of paint as we touched and touched and touched and touched. We're leaving a little ribbon up there because the paint wants to get stuck to it. It's like a suction cup. And then into this guy, just off the back side of the blade, very small little rolls, right? Very small, very small. And then we get bigger and bigger and bigger. Now that doesn't mean that there's more paint on the knife or anything, but we just have more of a shape, like a bigger, longer thing, right? Up here at the top, very small little things. But then as we go longer and longer, we need more white to extend and then start to break down here. So we're breaking, you get all those cool little bits at the end. We're really, again, only worried about what the top edge looks like, and it must be brighter than the backwater in order for it to stand out as being closer to us, right? So if I've got to change the angle a little bit, then we got to make it brighter over there, right? Looking very cool. Again, just 3 colors, white, blue, brown. We're not going to use anything else, okay? Gorgeous, right? Very neat. Now remember, we have to leave some space at the bottom. We're really going to run out of room on this guy. He's a big crashing wave for sure, right? So we'll get a little bit of our liquid white. We'll get into our titanium white over here and start to mix it down. Mix it down and down and down. And then we're going to come into here very lightly. I don't need to get up there yet. We're just going to catch this little area and come down and splash. And then we'll get much taller than our horizon, right? Because as it comes down and hits, it's going to burst and fly up into the air. Now, the more that we go up, the more we're going to cover that little detail that we had in the background, right? So again, what does your painting look like? How do you feel like it should be today? Do you want to have a lot of that crashing splash? Do you want to lose a lot of your background detail? Or do you want to keep it there, right? And only allow little bits to get covered up. Oh, that's so cool looking. That is wicked looking, you guys. And seriously, if I wanted these little splashies to go further up, like the water was breaking a little bit high, I just got to add a little bit of paint up there. That's literally it. Right? We're adding up the paint, and we'll mix it down. Very soft. Right? We don't need everything out there to be exactly the same. It doesn't all have to be as bright or whatever. We just need a little piece, right? And then we can determine how we want it to look. Because sometimes you don't see any of this crashing water. Sometimes you see a lot of this misty stuff, right? So it's up to us where it starts to break and crash over. Right? Then I can get back in there if I wanted to with my little blade and just brighten up certain spaces, right? Totally up to me. Every time, guys, how many times do I got to say? Every time we do this, it's just another chance to do it a little bit more different. Try something new, maybe a different angle, maybe this, maybe that, whatever it is. Now remember, we've got all that brown down here. I didn't plan on doing such a big old scene, but, or a big old wave. I was planning on making it a little bit smaller, but for this guy, we're going to be way up here, smooshing down harder and harder as we go, right? Leaving some mess in front of that crashing wave, right? Leaving all this bit of white paint behind your blade, behind the lip. As we get down here, we scrape a little bit more. The more that we scrape and leave more distance in between this area, the more depth the wave's going to have from crashing onto its own self. Right? That's a really cool shape of one for sure. I like that. About 2 or 3 times at least, until we've got enough of that liquidy white, nasty paint over here, right, to fill in that back section, at least 2 fingers worth, right? Got to have a little bit of paint back there. Now, why don't we take a quick little mersh break? I'm going to grab a quick drink real quick, and then we'll be right back, literally, right after I get over here. Let's see. Oh no, you're kidding me. The mouse, the battery, the mouse needs a charge. Here we go. All right, so if I do that, and then I do this, and then I stay very, very, very quiet, right? What if we did this guy?
Hey guys, it's Paint with Josh back in the studio with you today, taking a break from editing to talk about our Glitterwix candles. Absolutely fantastic, super unique jars, more than 65 different scents that you can find if you head over to their site. Check it out, get your favorite, let us know which one you got when you come back, and let's pop over to the show and see what we've been missing while we've been gone.
Dude, how about that? That worked. Okay, okay. I'm so nervous that it won't work. There. Okay, that's looking good. I'm going to take one more little bit of my white right back here. Throw it off to this side. That's so funny. I'm like, oh, I'm going to wet my whistle. I did not. I like held my breath hoping everything would work perfectly. Okay, so now when we do this next part, right, I tend to use a palette tool because you can get more rough and crazy and beat up, churned up water, right? But if you're not as versed with the palette knife, maybe you don't like it as much, you struggle with it a little bit, you don't have to use it in this point or this moment. You could use a fan brush, and you could take your fan brush and you could slide back and you can make a smaller and smaller and smaller circle as you get in there, rotating with all these little things. If you do that, it tends to make it look very smooth, very silky and soft and smooth, right? It's gorgeous. I used to do it with my fan brush all the time. But when I switch to the palette tool, it makes it look a little bit more natural, like the stuff's floating on top of the water. Remember, we've already painted the water. That's that dark stuff in there, right? It's nighttime. Water's clear. Remember that. We've already painted that stuff. So we're just painting the stuff that's floating on top of the water, right? And no matter if you use your palette tool or if you use your fan brush, you're still going to do the same things. You're going to roll back and then you're going to take off, right? So it's the same thing whether you're using the palette tool or the fan brush, right? So over here, if I'm going to scrape up a little roll of just my titanium white, because I've already got liquid white and titanium white down here, right? I'm just going to go across it pretty much sideways, 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 sideways. So all these streaks are going over to the edge, over to the side, right? Until I get about halfway in front or halfway underneath my eye. And of course, the eye might be in a different place in every painting. But as you can see, all of these guys have been straight to 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock, taking a step up each time till we're about here. Boom, right? Now that I'm under the eye of the wave, I can start to run down that runway and then take off a little bit, you know what I mean? And then come back in here, run down the runway again, take off a little sooner, right? We don't need everything to be the same, and in fact, they can't be. They cannot all be the same amount of roundness, right? It has to flatten out as you're down here and then curl up, just like your fingers do, right? So same type of thing. The more paint that we use, the more bright it's going to be. Now let me tell you, having it bright all the time or too bright is not fun. Okay, get in here, let's roll this guy up. You see how it dumped off a whole big chunk right there? Now what am I going to do in that instance? I'm going to scrape, I'm going to fill it in, making basically a bigger chunk, a bigger patch of paint, and now I have to kind of connect onto them. There we go, right? And we'll roll it back. Now, rolling your blade backwards and having paint drop off it like that is not the most simple thing in the world. It's going to take some time, right? So instead of dragging it forwards like this, right, we're doing the same thing, just allowing the paint to fall out the front edge of the blade instead of the back, right? So every time you do it is another chance, again, to try it a little bit different, to work on your angles, right? And then remember, not everything is just such a straight point out there. There's all sorts of these chunky, foamy patches, man. So if you end up making one that is just a bit too fat, right? A bit too nasty, don't worry. Seriously, it's out there in a photo somewhere, right? There. You got to leave that little section down here for sure, right? No matter how high we roll up. No matter if we get up into our eye of our wave, you cannot cover this with too much paint, right? Because if you're imagining or thinking about it, this area down there is very hard to reach from our moonlight, right? It's not going to reach all the way down through all that heavy water, all the foam, all the churned up stuff that's on top of it, right? It just doesn't reach all the way down there. So let's not put it there. We don't need the paint there. And in fact, you need that area to be dark so it shows that it's casting. See what my hand does when I put over the edge, right? It's casting a little shadow down in there. And we need that. A little bit more of our liquid white, titanium white out here just to add a couple little details. Doesn't need to be crazy. Literally, doesn't have to do anything. Doesn't have to be straight. Doesn't have to be anything. I can pop down and then go back up, and then come down and go back up, and come down and back up, just like the waves do, right? Literally, what do you feel like today? Because that's what matters, right? Now, as these things, as you can see, right, they're very flat out here. Can you see, just type in the comments, yes or no. Can you see that each of these is slightly more closed as a fin? Can anyone see that? Right? I'm just asking. Can any of you guys out there see that that is the case? Oh, that's wicked. Right? Yes? Cool. Thank you. Let's see. Bang, bang, boom. Right? We can see they're all different. That means that you cannot just paint them all straight this way, or all straight this way, or all straight this way, because each one of them is at a different angle, right? That means it's flatter out here, and then it's rolling up and rotating over in there. My word, that looks cool. Okay, a little bit more of my titanium white out here on the front, just to have this area be the brightest. And the more liquid white that you mush around there, the more it's going to want to mix away, right? And kind of show down to that dark black canvas area, which is cool in some areas. In some areas, I don't want it like that, right? So all up to me. Now I'm going to take a little bit of my liquid white. We're going to go about 50-50 mix. So 50% titanium white, 50% liquid white. Mix it down. And then we're going to put a very small amount because we don't have a lot of space right here, right? So if we get a very small amount of paint, allow it to get smaller and smaller as it gets over that way. And really the only way to mess it up is by allowing these two colors to touch, right? These two bits of white paint are very similar in their consistency, in their viscosity, right? So if we put on too much or allow these guys to touch, then we're going to be just out there waiting for a bus, like seriously, where you're going to be hosed. You will not be able to do, everything will be too bright. You won't be able to keep your dark areas and stuff like that, which we need at the bottom of our scene, right? You got to have those dark spots. So if we come in here and we pull down very lightly, because I don't want it to extend too far, and you can see there's a bit of brown in there, and we tend to go viral when we do these videos asking you, does this look like wet sandy beach? Just yes or no, or tell me what you think it looks like, right? What do you think that looks like if you don't see wet sand? What do you see? Type it in now. Thanks, Liz. I appreciate you. Mickey, love you, dude. Let's see. Looks like a hole. Long live Bob. He was my grandpa's cousin. And if you didn't know, he's already passed for like 20 years now. Like it's 1995, I believe. But yeah, he was my grandpa's cousin. Looks like a cliff. Looks like a waterfall. A lot of times we get waterfall. A lot of times we get cliff or ice wall from Game of Thrones. But what if we turned all those verticalities into something that's more horizontalities? And how doesn't that look more like that shiny, wet, beachy area that's right in front of everything? Yeah! I'm going to take a little bit more of my paint, plop it in right there, and then I can decide how much of a little shine. Do I want to have some excess shininess in that spot? Right? Pushing lighter there and heavier everywhere else in order to retain that area. I can do it. You can do it too, right? Let's get out here, take our same little blade with that same wet paint, drop it down. Doesn't have to be the most perfect, you know, or be completely matching to the angles that are back here. Our line that is back there, it definitely doesn't have to match. Then we come back in here and we scrape side to side until it's very, very small. Very small. Oh, my phone went off. I thought it was you guys grabbing the painting, man. But nope, this one remains mine, and I like it, guys. Seriously, I might actually take it out of the store. For once, like for reals, because this one is coming out fabulous. And it's only 3 colors. 3 colors. If I don't win the BobRoss Oil Painting for Beginners group cover photo contest with this 3-color thing, then I don't know what to do. Now I'm going to be nervous. Like, should I enter with this scene? Because it looks like we use more than 3 colors, doesn't it? Like this looks like more than 3, but we had the blue, the brown, and the white. on our black canvas. Right? We haven't used any other color. It's live on video. You can go and check it. Fabulous. Dudes, I like that. Now, a little touch of my moonlight. It's got to be a bit bigger in the back, right? And then come to a point in the front. So we just make smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller little things. Sometimes using the small side of the blade in order to get really fine little details, right? Come down like that, a couple little bits. Right? Ah, isn't that cool looking? Isn't that so cool looking? I love that little moonlight trick, right? And then again, I can make it as big and heavy as I want it to be, as bright as I want it to be, and then vice versa. We can have other little things kind of coming off of here horizontally. They don't have to all be perfect. Little bits that are kind of floating backwards from here or there or everywhere. And we can even get in there and soften them, having little like foamy patches kind of floating back very softly over that area. A little bit more roughly so we can drag these a little bit further. Right? And that looks so cool. Guys. Dude, I like it. You can even push that and then spread it away more, right? If it is ever too bright, you are in control of what it looks like. If I don't like it being that bright, I go back and take it away, right? If I push hard enough and mix enough of this paint away, then it will darken itself back up, right? Again, what do you feel like it should look like every time you do it? You want it to be so intense in your little bright area? Should we have it be less, right? All up to us. I get to pick every time that I'm doing one. Same with you. Every time you're doing one, you get to pick what happens, right? Maybe we cut a little bit of light out here, a little light over there, but not everything has to be the same amount or the same thickness or brightness or whatever, dudes. Seriously. So, pop that guy over there, and then we'll go throw in all of our spray. So guys, you guys got to come up with a title for this one. Let me know what you think it should be called, right? And then you can find it on the Paint with Josh app or the Paint with Josh website. And pretty sure you'll be able to find it over there. I mean, Paint with Josh, right? You put the N bit of every website ever, and you'll find it. Or you go on the Paint with Josh app, which is again available on the Google Store and the Apple, or the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store, and it's free. And the main reason you're going to want to get it, especially if you're late to the shows, is because it's going to notify you when we go live. Literally pushing the button to send you out a notification personally to every person who has the Paint with Josh app. It's a personal notification that says, hey, the show's about to start. Drop what you're doing and get there, man. Looking cool. So let me finish washing off these brushes. And literally, 3 tools, 3 colors. That is going to be neat. Now, we're going to go back to our fan brush. Okay, you want a hog hair bristle, very stiff bristled fan brush, right? That way, these bristles have some force when they're flinging backwards. We're going to take a little touch of our liquid white, because on black canvases, it's already dark enough down here to where we wouldn't even see any little black or brown specks if we were to put them in. You know what I mean? So what's the point? Let's back up a little bit, start sprinkling in just so we can get an idea on how the paint's going to come off of the blade and off of this brush, right? If I use a lot of force, pow, it's a lot of stuff is going to come out at once. If I have a lot of paint on the end of the blade or on the end of my brush, a lot of stuff is going to come out at once. Check this out, right? And then eventually you get to a spot where you have a very fine amount of paint, so it will throw off very fine little speckles, right? But you want those hog hair bristle brushes. They flick a bit better because they're just stronger. And then you want to use a very small amount of paint at a time. You can always go back and add more, right? Once you pop on something that's too big and too nasty, it's hard to make it go away, right? So little bits, get in there, launch them the way that the water is being thrown, which is why we're throwing them this way. Be far enough away from your canvas that you don't accidentally smack into it. I've had that happen before. Same little bits. How many little things do you want coming off the top of your water? Maybe there's some wind whipping through and it's blowing this little mist everywhere. Seriously, guys, you decide what you feel like. You can also go vertically, especially down here where it hits, and go and launch them up into the sky. Oh, that's so cool. So start coming up with a title for this one. Remember, if you grab this one, you get to pick the title forever, right? So if that is you, right, you're going to have lots and lots of people that are typing out suggestions, right? So if you're like, oh, I want to get this one, but I don't know, I don't think I'll be able to come up with a title. There's going to be tons of people out there that are typing in the titles, right? Now, if it gets purchased by someone, all you title typers, they get the chance to pick from all of your titles. If no one grabs this painting, then I get to pick from all of your titles. So no matter what, type out what you think this one should be called, right? And then we shall see. And then turning off everything is a new learning experience. All right, look at the, wow, look at this wave, you guys. Seriously, any small amount that you can get to float down from the top, you just want to make sure that it ends up matching up with those angles. And look, you can barely even see. You probably can't even see it on the camera. I can see it, just the littlest bit floating off. Just shows the water angle going up and then hitting and going flatter, right? Very cool. Very cool. I love the eye. I love everything about this one. Super sheerial. Right? Get very small little things to go up into that eye and stand out, right? Because all this stuff is floating. It's floating on top of that water, right? So the more little things you can get to roll up in there. And sometimes rolling over, right? Like seriously, this stuff is a crazy amount of roll in this scene. So let's see, scrape it, make it bigger. That's the whole thing. Anytime you put on something that's too much, scrape it, make it bigger. Seriously. Did we just come through? I can't believe that happened. That's okay. Custom, yo. Custom. Just showing you. Look at that. Even blasting through it with my finger. You know, the tip of your glove sometimes stands off a little bit more. Now we're going to come back in here and hide all that stuff. Just like that. Oh, that's cool. Dude, I like it. And that's all that matters, is that I like it, right? Now, remember, if you put on too many little sprays, then you're not going to like it. So, all things in moderation, you guys. But this one came out excellent. I would suggest not touching it after you're completely finished. Don't come up and touch your wave. You know, that kind of makes it a little bit more difficult to have a nice, crisp little thing, but I like it. Seriously. I like it. That added to it and added a little bit of color behind that spray. Maybe there's a bit of mist rolling on the back of the ocean or whatever you got to tell yourself when you go to do yours, right? Very, very smaller bits into larger bits. Oh, that's cool looking. Hello, you guys. Was that this one? Get out of town. Who grabbed this one? Oh, it might not even be this one. It might be a different one. Oh, that's cool. Pamela, I love you for that. You got that other Orchard Falls painting, which is a really neat little painting. I liked it anyway. Gorgeous. So this one, guys, I am in love with. Now I'm going to sign the top. I need title suggestions for this guy. All right, so let us know what you think it would be called if you had painted it. That's all. Doesn't need to be like the best title ever, just whatever you would call it. Caw-caw. You got to do the old cacaws when Josh comes up to do the birds. If you're not, then you're just not having fun with life. Like, you could be having a lot more fun, honestly. Over here. Whoop. Over there. Excellent. Yeah, that one came out too fantastic. Look at the rolling action in that eye. Oh, I love it. So, come up with a title for it. Let me know. I might just take this one to my house. I'm so serious, too. Like, this one is probably the tallest one above the horizon in the background. It's got such great details in the eyes and all that stuff. Splashing eye. I like it. Thank you, Nancy. Appreciate it. Midnight splash. The blaring moonlight wave. I like that one, too. So you guys are literally like poets out there. In the day. Let's see. Okay. I think I remember how to do that. Not that walking in the moonlight. Total wave. Serenity. I like that. Midnight roar. The tides of solitude. That's a cool one. Midnight spray. Crashing calmness. I like that too. Dudes. God, so neat. Love it. Love it. Okay. Let's go. We'll pick a title. And then remember, if you wanted to grab this one, you can get it. It is right there on the home page. And available waiting for you. You know what I mean? If you get it during the live show, it comes with a free gift off the Spinny Winnie wheel, but you get a really cool painting just the same, whether you get anything off the Spinny Winnie wheel or not, right? I'll highlight this guy just a little bit more. So everything's a little brighter, so this guy should be a little brighter as well. And don't try to force it. Go back and get more paint. You know what I mean? You're trying to force it, it's just not going to be, it's not going to go as much as you wanted it to be anyway. And then remember, it does get darker on the side, so it's kind of thicker in the background, skinnier in the front. And I had that in reverse until I saw a few reference photos and then was like, what am I thinking? But yeah, sometimes you lose your way. You know what I mean? Lose your way. God, that one came out so cool. Okay, what do you guys got for titles out there in the day? Let's see. 3 birds and a moon. That's a cool title. That is cool. Remember, there are 6 other people over there checking it out, looking at it just with you, and they could get it at any moment. At literally any moment, it could sell and find a new home, and then you're going to be kicking yourself that it's not coming to live with you, right? So, last chance on those titles, and then I'm going to pick a title, and then we'll get up on out of here for a Friday night. God, that looks so nice. Dude, it's all about not making it too bright, right? So, how do you purchase, says Jamie Neal. You can either download the Paint with Josh app, or if you want to just get it real quick, head over to paintwithjosh.com. And it's the very first thing on the homepage, the very first thing you'll see. You know what I mean? And it, obviously, we're doing a live show, so you won't see this because this didn't look like this when we started, right? What you'll see is basically a thumbnail of me sitting there inside of this really crazy gold frame, and that's going to be the one you want to get. It's number 2346. So 2346 is what it'll say. It'll say painting 2346, blah, blah, blah. We don't put the titles on them first. I title everything by number, and that way I can keep track. And so if I go, okay, 2346 sold, I know to go find the canvas with that number on the back. If you're like, oh, Midnight Majesty sold, I'd be like, which one? Is it a mountain scene? Is it a seascape scene? Because I don't do anything off of the titles, right? We go off of the number, and that just makes it easier once you get up above 2,000 paintings, you know what I mean? Much easier to go off numbers versus titles, because every title starts sounding like the same thing. So let's pick a title, right? Thank you, Eileen Lugo over there. Appreciate you. Watered Nights, I like it. Salty Splash, that's cool. Summer Night Tide, Midnight or Moonlight Kiss, Earth's Midnight Shine, Crashing Waves at Midnight. I like it. So this one's $239. Who does that say? Patra Bolino. $239 for this one. And like I said, if you get it during the show, it comes with a free gift. If you wait until after the show, it's going to drop a little bit. You're not going to get that free gift. And literally at any moment, someone could come in front of you. It literally put their payment details in seconds ahead of you, because there is only one. And so if you want this one, you know where to go to get it. And if not, that's fine. Let's come up with a title. I'm going to finish this little front area right up here. Bink, right there. Perfect. Make it a little wider as it's getting closer, or a little wider in the back. Excellent. Remember, this paint is not touching that. There's a little separation in between. It is touching on the front line, though. You don't have to worry about that down there. Very cool, guys. Oh, I love it. And I can determine how bright I want it to be just by dragging my blade through it, right? Some of the times after you put your little speckly sprays in there and you kind of drag through it with your palette tool, you'll leave cool little diamonds and stuff. Starlight Over the Sea, that is an excellent title, you guys. I like that. And if it's up to me, I'm literally going to look at the next one that comes in beneath all of those and keep coming. No, I'm just kidding. Tube of Justice, I like that. Solace, appreciate that. Thank you, I appreciate you. What's that? Hash Brown Dave, love you over there. Moon Lagoon, that's cool. Nightly Mist, Night Surf, Eye of the Wave. You guys are seriously too good. Too good. I can't believe that this house ended up running out of battery power as soon as I started the show. Like, within minutes of the show starting. So let me plug this guy in. There we go. Okay, On Moonlight Bay. I like that one, dude. Okay, let's go with that. On Moonlight Bay. Very cool. Sounds like something Captain Barbossa would say. There, spin this guy around. Remember, this one is still available. You just can't name it anymore because I'm about to name it. And everything's going to be fantastic. Cool. I had to double check that it hadn't sold one more time. Pop in the old JK. And then remember, once I take a photo of this one, then this one will be available, be much more easily found if you go over to paintwithjosh.com or the Paint with Josh app and on Moonlight Bay. On Moonlit. Moonlight Bay. Bang. Right there. Right there. Painted on 3/20 of 2026. We're all going to go check out, like I said, paintwithjosh.com or the Paint with Josh app. It's available on the Google Play and the Apple App Stores. It's getting much easier to say that the more I practice. Holy moly, did this one just sell? Yeah, guys, this one just found a new home. Cha-ching! I love that noise so much. So, who grabbed it? Come in the comments now. Let me know if it was you that grabbed this painting and where. Just know that I'm jealous because I wanted this one. Seriously, I was going to keep it. Just so honestly going to keep it. So, Tina over there on Facebook, you're the best. So, Tina, is this your first time watching? Let me just ask you like 2 or 3 questions, okay? Number 1 question. Is this your first time watching the show? Answer that question, and then I shall move on to the second question, right? I got to try to think of the second question. What was I going to say? Is this your first time watching the show? That's the first question. And then, did you know that you have now activated the light party for all of the other viewers out there? Right? All these people now get to see this wicked, cool light party because of you, Tina. Well, I'm sure I got that wrong. No, I did get it right. Ah, how about that? Tina. So, first question, is this your first time watching, or do you watch all the time? Second question, did you know you've now activated the light party for the viewing audience? Right? In which case, I'm going to go turn off the light. It says, no, I watch frequently. So you must know then that when the paintings sell during the live show, that we get to do a light party. Means I've got to turn off some lights around the studio and then give you a light flash warning, bruh. Are you guys ready for the warning? That's your warning. I should have warned you before. Maybe scared a couple people out there. So we're going to be doing a Paint with Josh light party, right? That means we're going to be flashing the canvas with an intense amount of flashing, changing light colors, right? It's kind of crazy to people who are sensitive to that kind of flashing stuff, right? So if you're one of those people, look away for the next minute or so, and I'll tell you audibly it's okay to look back when it is in fact okay to look back. If you're going to stay for the light party, type in the words "I'm ready," legally giving up all liability against Paint with Josh LLC, and then hit send, and then shut your eyes, right? Hit "I'm ready," then hit send, then shut your eyes. The longer that your eyes are closed, the more intense the light party shall become, right? So if you want it to be crazy, shut your eyes right now, right? Have you ever, like, you guys ever, you see those things where it's like, oh, if you look at this spinning, you know, like a hypnotism wheel long enough, and then you look away, it'll make your wall like wavy. Same thing. Close your eyes, and when I see enough "I'm ready," I'm going to get it started in 3, 2, 1. Light party! So open up your eyes. Tell me what is catching your eye first. What immediately, bang, popped out to you? Did you look at the moon? Was it the clouds? Was it the wave? Maybe it's the reflection of the moon down here in the thing. What stood out for you the most right away? You know what I mean? We got the wave, we got the moon, we got the reflection, the splash, the wave, the moon, the splash of the wave. We got the crashing of the wave, the moon's reflection in the backwash area, right? Everywhere. The curled up movement of the wave is what caught your eye the most. The moon, of course, right? The wave, the splash, the foam, all this stuff that is bright in the painting catches your eye first. So we're going to bring it down in 3, 2, 1. We're back to normal lighting conditions. So if you were sensitive, now is the time to look back, and we're going to do something that we call the RGB party, right? The PWJ RGB party. It's a lot of shortening. Abbreviations over here, Okay, lots of abbreviation to the fish pish. Okay. So all I need you to do is I'm going to put solid red light on the canvas, and then solid green, and then solid blue light. And all you have to do is just tell me your favorite. Which one looks the best to you out of the three colors? And we're going to go red in 3, 2, 1, red. Oh. Oh, that's so cool. I wish I could turn off that other light. It's so bright up there, but unreachable as of right now. So that's red. We're going to go green in 3, 2, 1, green. Oh, look at it. Isn't that amazing? Like, it shows stuff that the normal white light doesn't show. Awesome. Going to go blue in 3, 2, blue. Ooh. Oh, man. So what is your favorite? The blue, the red, or the green? Or the red, green, or blue? Out of those, and we'll be back to normal lighting conditions. Let me spin this big bright light around up here. So let me know your favorite. Excellent. Came out amazing. We got blur, blur, green, blur, blur, green, blue, green, blur. Aren't typos funny? I think they are. Okay, so Tina, for purchasing during the live show, you have now brought out the spinny winny wheel, and it's a gifting wheel that'll give you back a present for making my show better by buying it during the live show. So my appreciation back to you. And here we go. What are we going to land on? Hey, the Paint with Josh Fish Pish shirt. That's one of my faves. I mean, sure, you can get any of the Paint with Josh shirts, right, with this coupon code, but I would suggest the Fish Pish shirt. It's my favorite. It's the newest shirt in the Paint with Josh shirt community. So this one literally came out way better than I thought. I was going to go like small, not even crashing waves, and then do the sand a little bit higher up, but it just grew into something fantastic, honestly. Yeah, and I'm so happy you guys were here to watch it come to life. So, yeah, came out amazing. We did the Schminny Winnie Wheel. We did the light party. We did the RGB party. We all cacawed, I hope, when we put the signature in. Isn't it gorgeous? It's amazing. What's happening, Debbie? We got lots of different people. Boom. But why do you have a you lose option? So when it hits you lose, I just spin it for you again, right? Unless it actually hits you lose 3 times in a row, then you actually have to, like, that's the universe telling you, like, hey, this is not with you today. You know what I mean? So when we do, and it hits you lose, I spin it again, and then I spin it again. And then, if we're being completely honest, if it's going to come around and land on you lose the 3rd time, I normally, like, bump it a little, or like click it one direction or the other, just so the person actually wins something. No one ever loses here. I'm the only loser here. No one is ever losing. Okay, this one came out fantastic. Honestly, I can't wait to see your versions. It's 3 colors, guys, on a black canvas. I'm totally going to submit this one for the BobRoss beginner group cover photo contest thing. It's 3 colors. That is the specs of this contest coming up. I'm one of the mods in that group, and sometimes I feel bad for competing, but also you want to get better, you got to compete against the best, right? And same for me. I'm not the best. Again, don't think that. Lots of people in that group. Some are very, very, very good. But if you want to improve, you have to paint better than yourself, to paint better than other people, right? And so by going up in a friendly competition about, whose is better, you want to bring your best. Bring your best for sure. So I'm going to go enter this one in tomorrow as soon as the contest pops off. And I'll be putting this one in because I've never really done blue, brown, and white, right? Like literally, you got 3 colors. Actually, you know what? The whole thing is blue, black, white, and 1 other color. So I might actually have to go with the painting from earlier today and do that, enter that guy instead. Either way, doesn't really matter. I never win anyway, right? Like the people who vote in those groups never let me win because I'm Paint with Josh. They're like, no, this is a BobRoss beginners oil painting group. We should let a beginner win. But yeah, need to submit it for the contest. That's what I was thinking, but I was just remembering it's black, white, and quote unquote one other color. This is white, blue, and brown. So although it is a 3-color painting, I don't think they would allow me to enter with this painting. So in any case, it came out great. I can't wait to see your version of it. So I hope that you try it. I hope you send it in. And I hope that you have a lot of fun doing it, right? Very limited colors, very limited tools. And it can go so many different ways, literally. What do you want it to look like today? Try that, you know what I mean? Beyond that, you guys have been absolutely... okay, I'm not a loser. I'm like the greatest painter of all time, at least the greatest Seascape art teacher of all time, right? Like, sure, there are, like I said, I've never claimed to be number one. Okay, I'm number one in follower count, like the amount of people, but I'm not the best painter out there. I'm just the best explainer of what we're doing, right? So, and I paint the best seascapes. Nobody can touch me on that. Beyond that, though, you guys have been fantastic. I do love yous all. I can't wait to come back. We'll do it again tomorrow, and it'll be fantastic. When do we start tomorrow? In about 21 hours from right now. Yeah. Like 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's 8:10 p.m. right now. So, yeah, like 21 hours from right now. I'll be back here, standing in this position again, painting another scene for you so you guys can have a easier painting journey than I've had. So I do love you. I can't wait till we come back and we'll do it again on the next one, right? So until I see you guys again next time, take care. Rest of a good day and blah, blah. Hi, it's Paint with Josh back in the studio. Did you know that along with oil painting classes, we also now do acrylic painting classes? Oh, it's going to be fantastic. You can either come right down here into the studio and I supply all the supplies. Well, that one came out amazing. I want to thank you guys for being here, liking, subscribing, tapping the screen, commenting, and interacting with me. It's all been fantastic. In the meantime, before we get to our next painting, be sure you check out paintwithjosh.com because there's always something else to look at over there. So until I see you guys again next time, take care.